Well, hello and welcome to the next video covering the Menagerie Campaign. We are on to the Seventh Kingdom, and that one, let's see, is a kingdom where the estate pile is doubled. And yeah, oh, I forgot to pin the log here. The estate pile is doubled, so there are 16 estates there. And also noticeably, there is both Groom and Gardens. Now, let's, yeah, as always, start by discussing the kingdom. Feel free to skip, but I'll try to not go over the cards we already know all too much. Um, and we've seen supplies quite a bunch. Two cost card, like a copper, but becomes a peddler because it top decks horses afterwards. Next one is a stockpile, which yeah leads to some dynamics where you want to get more of them and discard the ones you've already played out of your exile. There are vassals, plus 2 coins, and discard the top card of your deck. If it's an action, you may play it. Good in action-heavy decks, otherwise usually not so good. Cardinal is another interesting card. I'm not sure we have seen that one. Gives plus 2 coins, and each other player reveals the top 2 cards of their deck, exiles one costing from 3 to 6, and discards the rest. So note that this can be a friendly effect with gardens or duchies, but usually it exiles the cards you don't want to have exiled. And that can also be a friendly effect with village greens, because if they're in exile and you just gain the next one, you can discard the village green from exile and immediately play it for the next turn. So that's interesting. Gardens worth 1 victory point per 10 cards you have, round down. Then we have Groom. I'm not sure we've seen that one yet. I've recorded the other videos like a week ago, so I don't fully remember it. So let's just get through it. Groom is a workshop variant. Gain a card costing up to 4. And if it's an action, you gain a horse. If it's a treasure, you gain a silver alongside. And if it's a victory card, you get +1 card and +1 action. And this combination of effects actually makes a Groom rushes a reality in games, especially with strong green cards like Gardens, because Grooms. So how do Groom rushes look like? The idea is that in the early game you just stock up your deck with a bunch of Grooms, and whenever they collide, you start gobbling up Gardens, which are green cards costing up to 4. You get +1 card and +1 action, so you can play another Groom, and then the last Groom you just play to gain another Groom. And that leads to very quick games in which usually Grooms, Gardens, and Estates pile before the opponent that doesn't go for a Groom rush can put up any defense. But here in this kingdom, the estate pile is doubled, so there are 16 estates to chew through. So this is a bit more difficult to get through. But still, in my opinion, like how I played this kingdom the last time, this is certainly a Groom Rush kingdom. Village Green, we've seen a bunch. Quite nice if you can discard it in some way. There are ways to do so here in Hunting Lodge and due to the exile mechanic, but only if your opponent attacks you. There's Hunting Lodge, which is a village, and then after getting the village effect, you may discard your hand for +5 extra cards. Nice for cycling. Laboratory we've seen. Gatekeeper we've also seen is that weak-ish attack card that forces your opponent to put actions or treasure cards they don't have a copy of in exile to put into exile when they gain it. And only gives +3 every other turn. So let's talk strategy. What do we want to do? I already told you about the Groom Rush that is possible here. So the idea will be to gain grooms that in the early game only gain more grooms. So we have up until we have 5 or 6 or 7 grooms in our deck. And then we'll start gobbling up gardens first to rack up points. And then we'll try to get through to pick up the estates. I think we'll try to chew through the estate pile. That's 16 points in the end, and also with Groom Gardens, you get a thick deck that will power up your gardens. We'll also go for stockpiles, and if we hit 5 late-ish, when there are no grooms left, we might pick up a hunting lodge to just cycle through our shuffle a bit. I don't think supplies are all too great. I would open, so talking about openings, on the 5-2 I will open Groom supplies. On the 3-4 or 4-3, which are equivalent here, I will open Groom stockpile. And I just noticed I didn't discuss Way of the Rat. You may also play a card as Way of the Rat, discarding a treasure to gain a copy of it. But I don't think this will be super relevant here. As with Groom, you just want to gain Groom because then you also get a horse, which accelerates you. And with any of the other cards, yeah, anything else might be too slow. So let's open Stockpile Groom here, as said. Yeah, also does go for the Groom. Now here we want to pick up another Groom, and we can pick up a free supplies. I think that's good. Gain one more Groom. Do we want to? Yeah, let's get those stockpiles back. They are not all too bad here. Now here, stockpile or supplies. Let's go for stockpile. AI doesn't live up to this garden rush. And here, actually, I think I might prefer supplies. Let's not lower all too much yet. Our horse is bottom deck. So, and also our stockpile's bottom deck. What do I want to do now? We could just, yeah, let's just stop here, not trigger this shuffle. Just to put this Groom back in, play those stockpiles, pick up one more stockpile and one more Groom into this shuffle, and then start gobbling up gardens as much as we can now, because we really need the points, and also Grooms and stockpiles are really low already. Now, we could also pick up another Groom here, but getting the majority of the gardens should now be our priority. Yeah, that's looking really good, really fast also. We have one stockpile on the mat. There are a few left in our deck. And you see we are already at 15 points versus 5 points by the AI, now 11 points. But if we draw well now, oh, that looks a bit scary, but if we just take the remaining 3 gardens, we might be able to do it here. It looks good. And now get to put those into exile. Yeah, buy the last Grooms, and that was incredibly fast. But as you can see, yeah, we finished the game in 9 turns with 25 points. Classical Groom Garden Rush. I'm not going to lie, this was a bit scary in the end, with the stockpiles being so low. Like, had we not found all of those horses on the last turn, I think AI might have also had a decent turn there. But yeah, this worked out quite well, yeah, quite a lot like I expected it to go. Although, no, actually, I did expect the stockpiles not to empty. I think the last time I played this, the stockpiles didn't empty, but this time both I and the AI, maybe due to our draws, were kind of forced to go for them a bit more. I liked not triggering that one shuffle. I think on that shuffle we got a bit unlucky with all of our horses and Grooms bottom decking. But just getting another Groom into the deck there and not triggering was the right decision, I think. I'm not super sure about the stockpile stuff because having the stockpiles in your deck also slows you down in connecting and getting your grooms, and also lowers the pile to an extent where the AI, if it does get to have some lucky-ish draw, might be able to overtake you in points and then pile on you. But yeah, we're more focused. The AI didn't go for grooms all too much, and also that for that reason its gardens were worth less. Our gardens, to be fair, also weren't worth that much, but yeah, this was nice. And yeah, this will be one of my shortest videos, I guess. Just 11 minutes, but with that, I hope you have a great day, and I will try to catch you next time with the next kingdom in the Menagerie campaign. Goodbye.